Welcome back, Wisdom Seeker, to the Wake Up Wisdom Tarot channel. We're happy to have you here today as we do a special little spread for you that's really just meant to find you when this message is needed. So I look forward to seeing what Spirit would like to share with you today through this message. And again, take whatever resonates and leave what doesn't. This message will be finding many different people who are on many different paths and parts of their journeys. So it's important to take what you feel connects to what you're going through in this moment. And if it doesn't connect to you, it might be something in the future that you see, or it might be something from your past coming up. So we're going to start with the astrology oracle. We're going to see if there are any messages that would like to come forward first for this deck. Ooh, right away we've got the 8th house coming up in the natal chart. Virgo. So if you are a Virgo, this message may connect and may resonate with you on a deeper level. Hygeia. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hygeia. I'm going to do one more shuffle through. Okay, and that's it for today. So we're going to start with that first card here. This card right here is called the 8th house. And in our birth charts, in our natal charts, we have 12 different houses, and each house represents something different about ourselves. The 8th house is the realm of reincarnation. The zodiac ruler is Scorpio, the planetary ruler is Pluto, the element is water, and the position is the succedent. The house type is the emotional. The 8th house is the realm of reincarnation, which encompasses the inevitable areas of life, such as sex, death, and taxes. There are no shades of gray in this house. Things are either black or white. Shared resources are also a big theme of the 8th house. Someone who has a lot of planets here will often find themselves dealing with other people's finances or assets in some way, or will be the person called out to clean up emotional messes. 8th house traits can cause you to retreat into your own inner sanctum for self-reflection, regardless of whether or not this is the energy those planets are known for. This need for security can cause you to be ostracized from your community, but it is necessary for your sanity. When you emerge, you will be stronger and more enlightened version of yourself. So we can already see here that there is that big kind of death and rebirth theme coming up for you. Whenever you're finding this message, like I said at the beginning, you may be going through some big changes, and the 8th house is here to confirm that. So when the 8th house appears in a reading, it represents the arrival of a time when it's time to take a break from the world and to work on letting go of your destructive behaviors. Nobody can do this part of your evolution for you. Working with this house is like taking a long and hard walk with the absolute worst parts of yourself. While you're in this place, it's torture. But when you finish, you are elated. You feel a real sense of accomplishments. We all face struggles from time to time, especially when it comes to bills, taxes, and deadlines. Actually, right now, it's February 8th today, so tax season is upon us, and some of us might be feeling the dread of that income tax coming through. If you've been waiting for a sign to get your life in order, congratulations. The 8th house is it. Come up with a realistic plan for sorting things out before they get worse. So this is your sign that it's time to sort those things out. Leave those loose ends, tie them up, and leave them in the past. Now for Virgo here, I'm just pulling up the meanings from the book here. I have the book here with me. So I'll share this with you as well. Virgo is for anyone who is born between August 23rd to September 22nd. In astrology, Virgo is likely the most misunderstood sign in the zodiac. She's often described using strict and cold adjectives like analytical, sterile, and organized. While she does embody those things, Virgo is also caring, nurturing, and supportive. This misunderstanding is due to her inability to express those latter traits in the way the rest of the zodiac can. In our chart, Virgo shows us where we feel an urge to serve ourselves and others. It's a form of self-expression that is often overlooked as trivial or mundane, though it's anything but. If Virgo sits in your 11th house, you probably take care of your friends the way a mother would. If your Venus is in Virgo, you may be a very artistic but struggle to overlook the imperfections in your work, which is a disservice to the art. Virgo needs to be careful about letting people take advantage of their drive for service and could definitively benefit from boundaries. In a reading, it's time to tie up those loose ends in your life. Interesting. We are definitely tying up those loose ends here, friends. It is also coming up to the end of the year of the snake. The wood snake was all about releasing what no longer serves us, shedding those old beliefs. We are tying up those loose ends and doing that final shed before we jump into the year of the fire horse on February 17th. Incomplete projects need to be finished. People who don't appreciate your value have to go, and family who don't respect your boundaries need to be reminded of them. Your needs must take priority before you can think of everyone else. Virgo may also be here to teach you how to express yourself constructively. Don't wait to share how you are feeling until it is too late. Letting resentment build until it explodes is unhealthy and damaging. Now we are going to move on to the last one, Hygeia. I'm not sure if it's Hygeia or Hygeia. So Hygeia is known as the purifier. It symbolizes healing herbs, brooms, snakes. Ooh, interesting, snakes coming up. Lemons and incense. In some mythology, Hygeia is the daughter of Asclepius, the god of medicine, and she took after him. Her focus is on the cleanliness aspect of health, which is where she gets her name, derived from hygiene. She is treated as a minor goddess, drawing a parallel to how we treat our bodies. We only pay attention when they stop working, right? In astrology, this asteroid, it's an asteroid. Look, I didn't even know that. This asteroid is the ultimate proponent of health. She rules over our health issues, eating habits, exercise, and how we interact with our environment. She gives us a nudge when we are neglecting our most important body part, our brain. Mental health is often neglected and simultaneously stigmatized, and this upsets Hygeia a great deal. In a reading, Hygeia's appearance means it's time to do a spring cleaning of your mind, body, and physical space. A change in attitude is necessary in regards to health and fitness. We can only run on empty for so long before we are struck down with an illness. If you've been dealing with health issues, Hygeia can symbolize your service for health. If holistic approaches haven't been working, then it might be time to look into traditional medicine, and vice versa. Consult your healthcare practitioners and see what solutions you can brainstorm together. Like all elements in astrology, she has the potential to go overboard and become a hypochondriac, or cause us more harm than good. If you're struggling with something health-related, take a look at her placement in your chart to get a fresh viewpoint. So maybe letting go of some of the false beliefs that we've had around our health and wellness. Maybe you've been putting some things aside and not prioritizing them. And we talked about money as well with that 8th house there. So really a lot of letting go here and a lot of building into more of our mental health. So maybe that mental health will come and we'll see more improvements once we let go of everything else that's been holding us back. Just going to put these to the side over here. Okay, let's jump into Buddha's wisdom. I watched a documentary yesterday about the history of meditation and Buddhism, and what a beautiful message it is that the Buddha shares with us, and his journey to enlightenment, and how really all of us can become the Buddha. We can all take on these traits of just being content and being open to all possibilities of life and everything that is focused around love and comfort and just happiness and joy and peace. So let's pull a card from Buddha's wisdom. See which message would like to be highlighted for today. We got 2 coming out here. Right, Buddha's wisdom. The first one says, when you find no solution to a problem, I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, yeah. When you find no solution to a problem, it's probably not a problem to be solved, but rather a truth to be accepted. So what you may have been dealing with here in terms of money, you might think that the money is a problem and you're not finding a solution to it, or the pleasing of the Virgo and putting yourself out there and really the relationships around you might be putting a lot of energy into, and you might find problems there. But it may not really be a problem what you're dealing with. It may be something that needs to be accepted and appreciated. Before you speak, let your words pass through. 3 gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? I feel like that one really speaks to the Hygeia message here of the mind and the wellness, right? When we talk to ourselves and we share these messages with ourselves, we can be very, a hard critic on ourselves and very negative. So just ask yourself to pass through those, what you're saying to yourself or what you're saying to others. Is this true what you're saying? Is it something that's necessary to be said? And is it kind? Let's pull a soul purpose card. We've got the soul purpose oracle here. Maybe this is what we are welcoming in as we let go. We are jumping into our soul purpose, our fulfillment, that energy of feeling aligned. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Might be blame around money. You might be blaming external factors. I can't save money because of this, or I have no money because of this, and we're putting blame on everything else but ourselves and our actions. And it's time for us to accept the responsibility of our health and our wellness. Who are we blaming? Who are we putting that blame on? And then how are we releasing that blame, right? How are we no longer holding on to this blame? We have to first identify who we're blaming and why we're blaming them, and then release it, let go of it, so that doesn't hold any more room in our mind, in our body, in our routine, our daily routine. We're going to pull a life purpose one here. Wow. We are working on the body in here for sure. Maybe some of you had a New Year's resolution. I know it's common that we make New Year's resolutions to go to the gym and to work on our physical wellness, but like one of the messages said here, it's not just about physical, it's about mental, it's about emotional, it's about really connecting to all parts of ourselves in a holistic perspective, in a holistic way. Because your life purpose is coming up as body work. Your life purpose involves body work such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. If you've been thinking about reaching out to a physical therapist or going for a massage, but maybe you've been saying, oh, I don't have enough money, you've been putting the blame on that, I don't have enough money, I won't be able to afford it, or you've been making excuses for it, remember, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind, what you're saying to yourself? It's time to really focus on our bodies, to focus on ourselves, to really focus on the internal rather than the external. Not so much everything else that's going on outside of us, but what are we experiencing inside? And lastly, we're going to do a celebrity oracle, because I have been really interested in celebrities and kind of the messages that they share through their status, through their power of being someone who is in the spotlight and who we do hold a lot of experiences and connections with. After I watched the documentary about Buddhism, I reflected on the words that I love to chant out and share from Alanis Morissette. And I just sing her music and I connect to it so much and feel such a deep warmth and presence within the values that she holds, and the wisdom that she really shares. So I looked it up, and apparently she is a Buddhist, and a lot of other actors are Buddhists as well. So it's interesting to know the background of these actors, actresses, musicians, and where they hold their connection to the greater good, to the community, to the collective, right? Let's see which celebrity pops up for us today. There are a variety of celebrities in this deck. Oh, there they are. Let's see who it is. Celebrity for the day is Martin Luther King. Wow. It is February, and February is declared the month of Black History Month. But Martin Luther King and many, Black politicians, musicians, artists are being more recognized now. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because everyone, regardless of your background, regardless of where you came from, your voice matters. And everyone should have an equal chance of being heard and of being respected. And maybe that message ties in: before you speak, let the words pass through. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is this kind? Because Martin Luther King's message, Martin Luther King Jr. said, stand tall. We're just going to read a little bit more about Martin Luther King. But right away, that might have a connection to you. You might create that connection right away and say, oh, I know why he's coming up. His archetype is a magician and a hero, also a crusader, a charismatic leader, and a visionary. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, 1929, to a church reverend and who was assassinated on April 4th, 1968. He was a Capricorn. He was an American Christian minister, an activist who became a spokesperson and leader for the civil rights movement. He participated in and led protest marches for blacks' rights to vote, desegregation, and other basic rights denied to minorities at this time. King's inspiration came from the nonviolent activism of Mahatma Gandhi. One of my favorite quotes is, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And he was nominated for and won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Martin Luther King Jr. is best known for his famous speech, "I Have a Dream," which he gave on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. In his final years, he was opposed to poverty, capitalism, and the Vietnam War. Hundreds of streets have been named in his honor, and he has a memorial named after him. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message is always follow your calling. When Martin Luther King Jr. came into this seance, his message was how he wished he was still alive to help with the Black Lives Matter movement. It was his passion when he was alive to make a difference, not only in his own country, but the world, as he referred to in his I Have a Dream speech. King's other message was to always trust your gut, as it is never wrong. He went on to say his mother used to tell him all the time, as she could smell the lies on people a mile away. He also talked about how he was surrounded by corrupt people, even on his team, and how he always knew he would never reach old age with all the stress in his life, as he had so much to do with God's work. Some of us might be feeling that way too. Like, you may be a healer, or you may be someone who works with the community very closely, and you're trying to make a difference, but you feel like you'll never reach old age because you just have so much to take care of and so much to do. And that's where that blame might be coming from, of you might not find a solution to the problem because it might not a problem to be solved, but rather a truth to be accepted, right? There are some truths that we do accept that are problems, though. So we do need to really use our discernment of, is this a problem that can be solved, or is this a problem that is actually a problem, or could I be using my energy and time elsewhere? Because the body work and the energy and sharing positivity shares a lot of strength and resiliency for others. It was very obvious to us that he was a tireless worker for people's rights, and he made this his life work, no matter the odds or opposition he had to constantly push through. King's message of hope and inspiration came through very strongly to fight for anything we believe in. The meaning of this card is, if you have a passion for helping the underdog and voicing your protest for injustice of any kind, from animal cruelty to environmental issues, you have a lifelong dedication to championing the rights of those who need to be heard. Fight for what's right and get involved, no matter the cost. If you feel strongly about any kind of injustice, take the opportunity to be vocal about it and take action. By speaking up and taking a stand on issues, it shows that you're on a mission for a higher purpose. Don't be a bystander. Be the change you want to see. Interesting that it ended with that sentence, be the change you want to see. And when it mentioned that he was very close with Mahatma Gandhi, I also shared that quote that Mahatma Gandhi said of, be the change you wish to see in the world, right? If you don't want to see people fighting, if you don't want to see people getting angry and frustrated and using their words to hurt others and not to lift others up, then is that the change you want to see in the world, right? What change are you looking to make? We're going to pull a couple cards here, and then this will be the end of our reading. But let's see, what change are we meant to make, and what words should we think about before sharing them? before putting them through, what blame are we holding onto others and onto ourselves possibly? We've got the Magician in reverse, right? That is the Magician. Yes. We've got the Magician in reverse. So this really makes me think right away that the power is in your hands. The power is in your hands, but right now you may be feeling powerless. You may feel like your voice does not matter, and you might be putting the blame on others for what is going on in your life. You might be saying, I can't do this because of this, or I can't do that because of that, but where are we placing that blame, and how can we change that perspective and think about our words before they come out of our mouth, and how we can calm our mental state and really connect to our body, connect to our whole selves. And when we get into our minds start overreacting, and they start making a problem that isn't even really a problem. So really take the time to sit through it and ask yourself, is this something that I feel I need to fight for, or am I just fighting for it because I don't know where to put that energy? The Spirit of Pentacles, I think this is the Page of Pentacles. So you're looking for a new beginning here. You're looking to start anew. Maybe it's a new project that you have planned, but that project hasn't come through yet. Things aren't unfolding the way you would hope they would, because you're hoping that things will just kind of unfold. You're hoping that things will just unfold naturally, but it's going to take work. It's going to take dedication here. The Two of Swords here in reverse as well. I feel that, like I mentioned with this one here, it's like we feel things are going to just happen for ourselves and that we're not in control. So this is avoiding us. This is causing us to not make a decision at all. We still have to make a decision. We can't just put blame onto others. We have to make a decision to stand up for ourselves, to really voice ourselves in a respectful way. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? But maybe it's not about the mind. Maybe it's about the body. Maybe it's about the body and how this is making you feel. How does it make you feel in your heart, in your bones, in your muscles? The Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. You're expecting others to give you things, and like I said here, you're just expecting for things to unravel, but are you also helping your community? Are you also going out there and helping others, expecting nothing in return? Because that energy is what is reciprocated, and I do feel like this energy is going to come to you. You will receive help. Those people who are meant to find you, your community will come out and find you and help you. But you also have to put yourself out there to be open to receiving it without that blame. Inspiration of Pentacles. I feel like that is the Knight of Pentacles. Maybe overthinking, might be jumping to conclusions here. So do not jump to conclusions. Open up your eyes, open up your perspective to see that there's something greater here. You have the power. You have more power than you're giving yourself to make a change, to be that person, to maybe go out and help others, and to be that guiding light for them. Spirit of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords. It's time to think about this in a new light, in a new perspective. Those new ideas. The blue jay is a bird of intuition. And if your intuition is telling you to do something, and if it's telling you to, go join a group to really express yourself through creativity, express yourself through energy healing, physical therapy, exercise training, to give people their power, their energy back, to lift them back up, to release that blame. Interesting, I was supposed to say blonde, light, to release that light energy. And to finally accept responsibility for the way we are feeling. We can't put that blame on anyone else, right? If you're blonde, this might also relate to you. I'm just picturing like blonde. Yeah. But yeah, this is an interesting message here. Definitely one of releasing those pressures of taking care of those around you, the mental stress you may be carrying, and especially around tax season, right? We might have a lot of people to blame for the experiences or the results that we receive out of something, but when we give ourselves an energy to those around us in a positive way, that energy only comes back more positive, and It's a mere reflection of what we're putting out there, right? Everyone around us is a mere reflection of who we are. So if you'd like to see more good in the world, then it begins with us to be that good, right? Be the change that we wish to see in this world. Thank you so much, Wisdom Seeker, for joining me here today. I look forward to reading for you again, and hopefully we can get a reading in before the new year begins on February 17th. We'll see you soon. Have a beautiful day.